This is the 22nd season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, AFTCO, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good morning and welcome to another exciting edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk about bass fishing. And I didn't put it in the thumbnail for today's show, but I was hopeful it would work, and it is working, and it's phenomenal. We're not just going to talk about bass fishing. We're actually going to show bass fishing. Miles Burghoff, live from the water in what state are we in?
Connecticut, the great state of Connecticut.
That's fantastic. So, yeah, family out there. It's a place you spend a little bit of time, and it's kind of like just a getaway in the off season. You're out filming some content for Miles Sonar Burghoff's YouTube channel. Yep.
Yeah, we've had this. So we've got this little, it's like a cabin or cottage, call them up here, that we've had since the 70s. And so we come up here and this is actually the state where really I fell in love with bass fishing. So it's been pretty nice to go explore, some of the other lakes, because for years we just fished a little lake that we live on, which only allows like rowboats and kayaks and canoes, no trolling motors, nothing. So getting out on some other lakes today, we're on Candlewood. So just kind of exploring the state a little bit.
You're on a pond that has some meat in it, Miles.
Dude, that's what I've heard. And so I'm excited to get out here. It took me a while to actually get in the water, because like I got down to the first ramp, and then that was only for residents of that town. And then the second ramp, and like finding ramps on Google Earth was much harder than usual. The second ramp only allowed 25 horsepower or less. And then I finally found a ramp that, I read every little fine print on the information sign. So I think we're good.
Wait, there was a ramp that you could only load or unload your boat if you had a 25.
Yeah. It was really weird. I had to chat GPT ramps to go to, and only two popped up, public ramps that you don't need a permit for. And that first one was 25 horsepower or less. And so
did they inspect your vessel for any sort of critter?
They did not have a attendant. I did all the normal stuff, from the last lake that I was at, cleaned it, drained it, had it dry, and I've also they've got this AIS stamp. I'm not sure exactly what it stands for. I'm sure the I is invasive species, probably the S too. But anyways, yeah, you had to get that stamp and all that stuff. There's a lot of hoops that you gotta jump
the further
through
the further north you go and the cooler the lake looks, the more you have to. I always, like in Minnesota, when we're up there for leech, there's all sorts of little lakes, and like I always have to make sure that every single bit of grass is off. I take it to if we're going to a different lake after we've been on a lake, I take it to the car wash, get one of the hot things, hose it down, soap it down, literally dry the live wells out with the towel, make sure that the back of it's dry. Then when you go there, they ask you all the questions, and you're about to catch them if the invasive species specialist there says, "Boy, I've never seen a boat like this on this lake before." That's when you know it's about to go down.
Right. I've been fishing another lake that's closer to our place, and it's been a blast. I'm catching tons of smallmouth each day, some big largemouth. It seems like when I get a bite from largemouth, it's a big one. So it's been a lot of fun. But I learned last year coming up here to go bow hunting. This state obviously has, a lot of hoops, like I said, and I actually got fortunate. I was able to get. You're supposed to have like a archery in-person class, so they don't honor like out-of-state hunting hunting courses like I took. So I had to go across the state to go to this just try to show up and get into this class. And fortunately I did, but you can't assume everything. You got to read the regulations and stuff when you go to a new state, especially up north.
Congratulations to Pickwick Pirate. He is a proud new owner of a bass cat. He either got the boat or he got a cat that likes bass, but I'm assuming the comment, I got a bass cat last night, would mean he's got a new ride.
Nice.
So this is going to be cool. So you're having a good year. You made the move from you did MLF, and then you did FLW, MLF, then the Opens, back to MLF this year. I don't know if we've ever really talked on the show kind of about that decision. It seems to be making a decent decision. You're great. You're looking decent in the points. You're coming off of 2 really good back-to-back tournaments. You're in the top 40 of it. You got a couple left on the schedule, but you're also on this pond for the very first time ever and are trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, the move was a lot of different things. I mean, the main thing was I wanted to go to a place where I could make, $10,000 checks again. And we got those $10,000 checks down to a third of the field. So, MLF listened to the anglers. And so it was a move for that. It's just, once you get to that $10,000 check level, it starts making more fiscal sense, but you have to cash the checks. I mean, because it has hurt spending, sending in those $5,000 balance, checks every month. Let me tell you, it's a lot different than fishing the Opens where you got $1,000 that you gotta, pony up for the next event. But yeah, that was primarily the reason. And also I just love fishing with MLF. And so that was kind of what we moved to.
All right, so I would like to ask you some questions about your year and stuff, but let's see if we can do it while you catch 8-pound smallmouth.
Gosh, one thing
any sort of area where you think you might be able to hook up?
I think I could catch some largemouth for sure.
Let's do it.
Fishing this bank. Yeah, I think I've been fishing this bank, and I just switched to a Ned rig, which I caught 2 on. This is actually not the exact setup. The first one I caught a nice 3.5, maybe 3 3/4 on just a regular TRD fatties. Yeah. And then I caught another one on just a regular TRD, and now I've got the fuzzy bugs on there, which we'll see how that does.
Is that stretchy plastic as well?
Oh yeah, that's Elastec. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if we have this set up correctly, which you guys don't even know the tech that we're using to get this done.
It's a box with a cooler on top with my cell phone on top of that.
Phenomenal. So we'll just chat while you fish. We've done this before. Back in the day, we used to do it a little bit with Brad Hallman. We've done it earlier this year with Austin Cranford. Now, Austin did catch almost a 7-pounder on live with BTL, so your work is cut out for you. But the way I understand it, this lake has some big ones in it.
From what I understand, from what I've been told, its reputation precedes it. I know that it's got some giants in it. There's tons of alewife. So that's like
Can you screen mirror the front to that graph that I can see right there? That we can see right there where the mapping is?
Cool.
Can you screen mirror it? No, not with your phone, just on the graph. Like, do you have it linked up front to where you can put the live scope?
I've never done that before. Let me see what we've got.
Do you have them linked like to the front?
Oh, that's not it. Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, look at this.
Look at that boulder.
That is a boulder right there. So walk through. I mean,
that boulder's got one. I can see 2 on the back end. What look like 2 bass.
Well, catch them.
Yeah, I'm working on it, man. Don't pressure me. I didn't come on here to be berated.
Was it a tough decision to go back to the pro circuit and kind of start over? I mean, it had been really since 2022 that you had fished a full season over there.
It was tough to I don't like going back and forth. Like I really I really do. There's certain things I love about the opens, but at this point in my career, it's been such a volatile decade in bass fishing. It's like I got to the FLW tour and I was making good money there, making those bigger checks. And then things just started to change. So it was like that's kind of the catalyst for moving over to the opens. And then, I don't know, the opens, I just having a family now, one of the most important things to me isn't necessarily, what the next level is. It's like, okay, making a living right now. And that's kind of what was the major reason for moving.
Yeah. This is a good interview because this is not at all going to be the focus of it. There already have been like 4 or 5 questions about Riley. Everything's good to go. You go in for regular checkups and you're back to fishing and raising a young family. There you go.
Yeah, we've got scans coming up pretty soon. So it's like we're in that period of scanxiety. Like it's so weird. You've heard that term before, right? We've talked about it. Yeah. You go through this period because so the week of ICAST, I'm going to be missing ICAST because we're going to be at St. Jude, and you just start getting this buzzing of anxiety that you don't even really perceive it at first. And then you start realizing, oh, scans are right around the corner. So it's like every single time right now that Riley is, getting sick or something, it's just kind of a concern, but everything is good. We have no reason to believe that, there will be any issues during the scans, but it's just the nature of the beast.
Yep.
You always worry about it.
So there you go.
Yep.
That's the update. All positive stuff.
Wait. She just caught her very first bass
all
by herself just 2 days ago.
Really?
So that is the big news. I'm gonna edit a
night
video
crawler or
on
artificial?
No, a brand new bait from Z-Man they're going to introduce at ICAST.
Unreleased.
I'm not kidding. She's going to be responsible for so many sales of this bait.
So you're gonna have the little viral clips.
We're probably not going to do too much, but I think I am going to share the video of her catching her first fish. But yeah, it was on that Z-Man bait. It was the first cast too.
Interesting. Everyone's saying, "Oh, it's the Z-Man Koike edition or the Z-Man urchin."
Ooh, do you see these guys out in 80 feet?
Yeah, you can kind of see them right there. So where did you pick? I mean, it looks like, is the lake high or is it just a lake that has depth that's right, where the trees kind of undercut? Is that kind of standard, do you think?
I think it's kind of standard. I mean, I don't know how much this lake really changes. I don't know much about this lake. Honestly, I thought it was for sure a natural lake, but there's so much like stumps and stuff on the bottom, like not just rock. So, I mean, that look like stumps. So I'm not 1,000% sure what's going on. Keep on making short casts here. Oh my goodness.
Definitely. Oh,
do you see these fish?
We can get we can get a good look at them.
Okay. There's something going on down there. There was a large fish that just kind of nosed down on it.
Candlewood is actually a man-made lake.
Okay, that's what it seems like. I thought it was a natural like glacier lake initially. So
yeah, no, the concept for the lake was developed on July 15th, 2026 by the Connecticut Light and Power Company.
Good to know. We got a few little guys coming up to it. All right, next question.
It's a popular tourist destination.
Cool. Yeah, it seems like it.
There's a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit, Miles.
Oh, okay, good.
Just in case you decided to start ripping around the pond.
No, I've kept it pretty mild. I'm very cautious because I'm like, as much as I read the boating Connecticut rules and all that, I'm like, I know I'm missing something, so I'm just going to take it easy.
Get this. Scuba divers can investigate buildings from the area before the lake was created, follow underwater roads, and discover artifacts. There are Model Ts, plane wrecks, and small crafts that have been found in the and now they can discover a small Ned rig.
Yeah, right. The fuzzy bugs.
Yeah. Let's talk about what your goals are back on the pro circuit, because
the
BPT has become, I think when you made before your decision, I don't know if you knew that it would only be the 5 and stuff, but it has become very difficult now to move up to the BPT. You talked about how you were comfortable that 2019, 2020, those years, I mean, you did over 60,000 in earnings, about 80,000 when you combine everything in it. So are you looking at the pro circuit as kind of a home now / the old FLW tour, or is it BPT or bust?
I think it's all up in the air right now. It really is. Katie and I have been talking quite a bit. I'm more in line with staying with the pro circuit. It just really depends on what it looks like, next year. I mean, everything seems to change every year, so it's hard to like give a prediction as to where we want to go. But honestly, I'm just tired of bouncing around, and I do love the organization, the people behind MLF. So I'm kind of leaning that way. But I've even, I've considered all the circuits, and especially like earlier this year when we started to like kind of see how the 3-hour scoping period, which I'm not against scope. I love using, my Garmin and scoping around, but I'm not as good at it as other anglers. And, I've built a skill set that's mostly a shallow water power fishing, just kind of visible targets, instinctual, just run and gun stuff. And I thought that the 3 hours would be a distinct disadvantage for the guys that, are really, really good at that, which there's a lot of them nowadays. And it turns out that it actually seems like it's kind of an advantage. And so there was a time period early on, like kind of mid-season, that I was like, man, maybe this isn't, quite for me anymore. But I've kind of changed that a bit. I think as a competitor, you have to hold yourself accountable, and, I'm trying to hold myself accountable for learning these new techniques. It is very difficult at this, season in life, because when you have a family, and you can't just spend 7 days on the water anymore. Like I did,
like,
we all did when
Thursday. I'm going to go learn how to twitch an urchin.
Yeah. And not only that, but part of my business model is creating content and sharing information. And it's like, I can only do so much with, live scope content. So it's like some days I have to go out and, make content for specific, just more traditional tactics and things like that. I think honestly, I know I'm getting on a tangent, but I honestly feel like if I want longevity in the sport, which I do desperately. I mean, obviously we've been in it for a long time. We've invested a lot of time, money, blood, sweat, and tears. I want to be around for a long time. And I think that running away from, this kind of new age, of techniques and technology might not be advantageous for me. So I'm trying to get better is what I'm trying to say.
So is that one of the deciding factors to stay with, or to, I guess, return to MLF and not go NPFL?
Yeah, I think so, but it's still on the table, honestly. I don't, it really depends on where my sponsors want me. I do think that if I went NPFL, it would be a good business decision from a check earning and frequency of like winning, scenario. But, again, you don't have another thing, and it is a fairly new platform, and so it's definitely on the table. But honestly, I kind of want to I feel like growing is what I can do at MLF. I'm making good money. I've made 3 checks out of 5 events. It's not spectacular. I've had one bad event and one mediocre event, but I also feel like at Eufaula, the last event, I gained a lot of confidence in my ability to go scope, because I was fishing around one of the, around Carter Nut, and I was neck and neck, doing well in the same areas, so doing scoping, and so I've learned a lot recently, and one thing that I've learned, you might be able to, this might resonate with you, is it's not that there's like a ton of like secrets when it comes to getting good at scope. It feels like it's about gaining confidence in it, and kind of being able to focus in on it, and not have all those voices like, oh, look at those bushes over there, or go look at that. You gain confidence in your ability to just like, okay, this is accessible, like, this is something that I can do at a high level. So we're kind of getting there.
Hey, while you're sitting down, you talk about that. When I was doing some research, when I was getting ready for the show, I noticed a couple of pictures I think Jody and Rob put up on MLF, and I have not done it this way before, but it looks like it would absolutely work. And I was wondering if you could show what you've got. It's the Texas rigged Ned.
Yeah, it's the big TRD. That thing, I probably shouldn't talk about it all that much, but that was what I caught him on at Eufaula, and I've been in a lot of situations where scoping, that is a really, really, really good way to get bit. It was crazy at Eufaula. It was like literally 85 to 90% of the fish that I cast it to that I knew for sure were bass ate it right away. As soon as it, got in their face, or as soon as it hit the bottom, they were on it.
And you're scoping with it, but then you're also Texas rigging that Elastec.
Yeah.
Are you cool? Can you show how you rig that?
Yeah.
I would be interested in if you would see it. I'd be interested in seeing it. Also,
do you mind if I just use
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'll just show you, because it's pretty simple.
I would also like to possibly, I don't know what you actually have with you, but I've roomed with you enough to know that you carry a obscene amount of chatterbaits, and I would be curious just to see what chatterbaits like is in your go-to chatterbait box.
Well, I got 2.
You have 2 chatterbait boxes.
Well, no, I've got like 5, but I've got my jackhammer and Elite Evo boxes right here.
I would be after we do the rigging for the big TRD. So this is a representation.
Just pretend this is the big TRD. So essentially you're just putting the jig head. So I was using a ball style jig head like this.
Okay. Is there any specific? Is that the specific jig head?
No, I was using a 3/16 or quarter. I ran out of quarter ounce, but you're essentially just putting it in like that, and then you're just Texas rigging it. And the one thing about Elastec that people don't quite understand is when you're rigging it, don't Texpose it. Like, don't try to get the hook point out and then dig it back in like you would with traditional plastics. Like, literally just stuff that hook point into the Elastec, like right in the middle of the darn thing. And that it's such a soft material, though durable, it will, the hook point will come through on the hook set. At least for me. I mean, I've had a lot of people kind of say that they've had issues with it, but I have not been able to replicate.
I liked it. It just looked like a very versatile bait that you could flip, pitch, cast, doesn't get hung up, has a smaller profile 100%. Without an open hook, throw it around grass, rock, docks, wood, anything.
Yeah, it was great. And it has that TRD has a really, really
Miles froze on us. He was doing good. Maybe he'll realize that he's frozen. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll just have Miles. That's what happens when you have live on the water coverage going on. Also, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got something going on with the inside of my eyelid right there. Woke up and it looked like I had just taken a sharp right hook, but it's a BTL on the water edition with the one and only Miles Burghoff. July 1st. I'm a little because every July I'm usually either in Canada or up in upstate New York, and I'm doing all of my Canada and upstate New York stuff at the end of the month instead of the beginning of July. So I have FOMO, and like you just walk out and you're like, man, it's time to be up north. But it's BTL on a Wednesday. We'll be back right after this.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
We'll do like a really quick break because I think we have our man Miles back. You got audio?
Yeah, I got audio.
We got audio and video. All right, we're back.
All right, sorry about that. We had
the
temperature.
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that thing starts happening this time of the year where you have to put it in the ice box and all that. How'd you get it to turn back on so quick?
Well, I forgot I brought my iPad with me, so we've actually got a better scenario.
You're absolutely golden now.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can see the screen so much better now, too, and everything.
Oh, it's all better. Everything's
all right. So let's go through. So for those of you, let me just say this. The first time I roomed with Miles, he had a Rubbermaid tub in the house, and I was unsure. I thought maybe some guys will have like paper towels in there, some seasonings, their rain stuff. It was all chatterbaits, and not like the $20 or $18 jackhammer ones. It was all chatter. He's an equal opportunity chatterbaiter. You have the originals all the way through every different one, every different size, shape, color that they've made. And in your mind, there's a reason for each one.
Guilty. Yeah, we've got everything. But usually when I'm for the vast majority of things, it's these two boxes that I carry with me on the boat. I've got another box that has like the Project Z chatterbaits and they made one that, oh man, I forget the name of it. That was kind of like a football head, swing head style. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. But
the cross eyes?
No. That one it has a weed guard on it. So I've got one with that, the big blade, and some of the mini maxes and stuff like that. But these boxes, so jackhammer is obviously like a tournament standard, but also the Elite Evo series, the tungsten version and the regular version they came out with a couple years ago. I mean, it is a dialed in, chatterbait. I'll show you one of them.
Holy smoke. So that is just absolutely packed.
Here's one right here. That's actually the tungsten version, but it's pretty much the same other than the material as the regular Evo. So I have Evos in here. Then I've got, the new Baby Jacks. This will be a smallmouth crusher. And then
I was shocked at how different the Baby Jack felt. The Baby Jack felt, it feels like a 1/4 ounce rattle trap.
Yeah. It's super subtle. It doesn't have as much hunting action, at least the heavier versions. Like the 1/2 ounce doesn't have any hunting action at all, really. But that's not like a deterrent. It's actually really, I like that for clear water. I just burn that thing super fast. So like a lot of times on these northern lakes, I'll burn a 1/2 ounce Baby Jack, 2 ounce Baby Jack, 3 ounce Baby Jack, 4 ounce Baby Jack, 5 ounce Baby Jack, 6 ounce Baby Jack, 7 ounce Baby Jack, 8 ounce Baby Jack, 9 ounce Baby Jack, 10 ounce Baby Jack, 11 ounce Baby Jack, 12 ounce Baby Jack, 13 ounce Baby Jack, 14 ounce Baby Jack, 15 ounce Baby Jack, 16 ounce Baby Jack, 17 ounce Baby Jack, 18 ounce Baby Jack, 19 ounce Baby Jack, 20 ounce Baby Jack, 21 ounce Baby Jack, 22 ounce Baby Jack, 23 ounce Baby Jack, 24 ounce Baby Jack, 25 ounce Baby Jack, 26 ounce Baby Jack, 27 ounce Baby Jack, 28 ounce Baby Jack, 29 super fast and get a lot of strikes, in clear water. But that's what I got. So I've got it mixed up between craw and bluegill, imitation. So that's what is in this box.
Okay.
And then we've got all the shad.
So here. It's not design. It's not separated by style. It's separated by color.
Color, and yeah.
Are you a 3/8 or a 1/2 ounce guy? Because I have found, especially recently, because I've been throwing it a lot, and guys have been like, "Hey, do you have a?" And then I've been asking to borrow. It seems like guys are either like 1/2 ounce is way too heavy, I only throw the 3/8, or they're like, there is no jackhammer other than a 1/2 ounce.
I used to be strictly a 1/2 ounce guy, and then I would change the elevation of my rod tip to help with depth level. But in recent years, I've really started to have a nuanced approach to that. So I use a 3/8 ounce a lot. If I'm fishing like 4 foot or less, I think that there's a lot to be said about a 3/8 ounce, because especially if you need to slow roll it. But primarily, the heavier the chatterbait, the heavier the bait, the more it tracks straight. And so a 3/8 ounce actually will hunt a lot more, than a 1/2 ounce or a 3/4 ounce. It definitely varies from bait to bait, believe it or not. It's very, they look all the same, but some of them hunt and some of them don't as much. But a 3/8 ounce, you're going to be able to maximize that kind of side to side action, that real erratic action. And so I think that it's really important to utilize the 3/8 ounce when you're fishing shallow. But if I'm going on a lake and like it's a practice day or something like that, I'll probably stick with the 1/2 ounce and just change the elevation of my rod tip. And then come tournament day, I kind of dial it in.
Did I hear you say that even though there's very strict standards on it, there are some, you could pull 10 chatterbaits out of the pack, run all 10 of them, and there's going to be a couple that hunt almost like a balsa bait?
Yeah, I don't know what the amount, the ratio would be.
Yeah,
but I would say most of them will hunt. Like most of them will do what they want. So I think it's like maybe 2 out of 10 might track a little bit straighter.
Okay, so you want the ones that don't track straighter. You want the ones that actually
usually hunt,
and then blow out.
And then sometimes you have some that, and usually it's after you catch some fish on it, that hunt too much and they like start rolling at certain speeds, and you don't want that either. And a lot of the hunting action really has to do with the type of trailer you put on it too. The more drag that you have, the less likely it is to hunt, because it tracks straighter. So a lot of the tails that don't have like a paddle tail or craw legs or something like that, the jointed ones and like maybe fluke style trailers, those will hunt better than say like a big paddle tail. There's a caveat too, because one of my favorite trailers is the Diesel Minnows from Z-Man. It's like my favorite all-around trailer, and that actually aids in the hunting action. It's got a narrow paddle tail, and it kind of like gets that bait off kilter a little bit, and it kind of moves around.
Best day in, day out, 365, best chatterbait lake in the country. Like a place where when you go there, you're just like, oh, cool. No bait decision this week.
Good question.
I'm going somewhere with it after you tell me what lake it is.
Ooh, it'd be hard to pick one.
Okay, give me your top 3.
Okay. I would say Okeechobee's going to be on the list because, Okeechobee, the chatterbait, works really well, all Florida lakes. I would say, Chickamauga's pretty darn good with a chatterbait. You can catch a lot of fish on a chatterbait because it's generally got a little bit more stain to it than some of the other TVA lakes. And gosh, What would it?
Got to be somewhere.
I would say,
doesn't it?
Yeah, I would say up north is like you could. The amazing thing about going up north, and this is something that I just learned in the last like 6-7 years. You go up to these clear water lakes up north where these fish haven't eaten anything all winter long, or they haven't been pressured. You throw a chatterbait in that ultra clear water, you can catch them. Mm-hmm. Like the St. Lawrence River is ridiculous with a chatterbait.
Yeah.
So I'll throw the St. Lawrence River in there just to represent the north.
So here's the part 2 of that, and maybe they do, and I just haven't paid attention to it. But like, you know how Spro has the frog tournaments?
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't Z-Man do a chatterbait only tournament where it's like on Chickamauga or Gunnersville or St. Lawrence River or some non-traditional where it's like the only thing you can have in your boat is a chatterbait?
That's a spectacular idea.
Like I
is.
just think that would that would be such a badass event.
Yeah.
Like the Spro tournaments are awesome.
I want to replace Chickamauga on my list for Gunnersville. And the reason is they love chatterbaits on Gunnersville, but a chatterbait's about the only thing that you can fish when the coots are there tearing up all that grass.
Oh yeah,
because it's like there's nothing else you can throw that's a reaction bait that won't get snagged, but
I would almost venture to say, since you mentioned St. Lawrence River, like a chatterbait only event on the St. Lawrence River, like how fun would that be?
Oh my gosh, you would catch so many largemouth, but also smallmouth. It's unbelievable how receptive smallmouth are to a chatterbait. It really is.
We're seeing
I'm gonna
a
see
lot.
If I can put like a little shade on this thing so it doesn't turn off.
Oh, is it getting hot too?
How iPad.
And I'll let you. We'll let you go here pretty soon. But one more question. Grab it. You can get up there and start fishing too if you want to. I mean, I'm sure that people would like to see blast one. But I'll just keep talking, so you don't even have to look at the camera. Just act like Just act like it's like FLW 2017, and you just drew a co-angler who just will not shut the hell up.
Deal.
Why? We're seeing a lot of it. Okay, so in my opinion, minnow, a lot of conditioning to it already. The koiki, a lot of conditioning and things like that. It seems to me though, like the chatterbait has really stood the test of time, which is interesting to me considering it has such a repeatable, not movement or motion underwater. Like it's the same thing on the fish's lateral line. Why do you think they're still so receptive to chatterbait and haven't like been conditioned to it, especially, like a whopper plopper or something?
I think it's because it does appeal to their lateral line, their sight, like all of their senses other than smell. It appeals to, and it imitates things that are naturally in the environment. So like one of the concerns I have with like the whole like urchin craze is like, it's not a natural looking bait. Like I've heard some biologists kind of surmise that it's like something that the bass were used to eating when they were smaller, like when they were just born, when they were fry, like zooplankton or something like that. But, I think that it could be susceptible to overpressure pretty easily compared to other baits like the jighead minnow and stuff in a chatterbait, because it's just not natural looking in the environment. I just did a video about this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so a chatterbait, it just appeals to all the right things, and it imitates just about any forage species that you've got in a lake. So I think that's what it has going for it. You see these fish, some of them are not bass, but that looks like it might be a bass going down to it.
How far out?
Seemed a little long. That was like 30, 40 feet.
Okay.
Seemed a little elongated.
I believe there's pike. There's got to be pike in Candlewood. A lot of white perch. I believe Paul Mueller has caught a lot of yellow and white perch out of this pond. Am I wrong in that statement?
No, there's got to be a lot of yellow. I don't know. I'm sure there's white perch in it too. There's something
white perch are like now. The Burghoff hooked up. Smallmouth
on BTL. Gosh, he is just fired up on the Ned rig.
How are we looking size wise? Oh, look at that little cutie.
He's small. But, dude, he's healthy. Look at the shape of him.
Is that your first Candlewood smallmouth?
That is my first Candlewood smallmouth. All right, gang. Check that out. That's a first for me on BTL.
Love it. Do you think we could get into a little group here where we could have a little fishing show? Does this bring you back to the old Sweetwater days?
Dude, I want to stay here all day with you. Just hang out. Those aren't bass.
Now, what's telling you that they're not bass?
So number one, I am no expert, but the shape of them and how much tail I'm seeing is kind of throwing me off. And the way that, I don't know, that's one of the things about getting comfortable with scope is that a lot of it is just kind of like, that just looks like a bass. And the way that they were swimming was a little bit more nonchalant than bass. Bass are usually on a mission. Like they are moving. Like that one right there. Let's see if he eats. That's definitely a smallmouth, I think.
What makes you say that?
See, look at all the debris. Just the way it kind of like circled down.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or drum. Drum love doing that. Drum and catfish, they, when they get spooked by a bait, they kind of do this like little circle thing.
So what would you have done on Candlewood? Let's say you're in the exact situation that you are now, but pre-scope. Like you get on the water, you drop it, you're kind of getting a feel, you're using your underwater eyes for it. Would you have just picked up a chatterbait or a crankbait, or would you have done idling or what?
I would probably fish a lot of the docks. Like I caught, one of my first fish today off of a dock back there. And so I'd probably focus on docks, but there's also a lot of overhanging limbs here. I don't know. I might try skipping a frog or skipping a wacky rig under some of these limbs. And that's probably how I'd get started. But then I'd probably, just to get some momentum. And then I'd probably go search out some structure. And, back in the day, we were vertical fishing. You're fishing vertical with your 2D sonar or down view. Look at that thing. Look at that. There's like
it's
block.
Like a box. Yeah, like a cement block.
That's got to be a smallmouth on there, and a terrible cast.
We're live on the water in Connecticut with Miles Burghoff, who is casting towards a man-made object.
We got a fish interested. Oh, and then he spins down. See, that's got to be a smallmouth. I don't know why they do that. They're super finicky about baits that 5 years ago they would eat immediately.
Well, that's because that's that fish's block, Miles, and that fish has seen several nets and drop shots and things. He went 3 years of his life without ever seeing a bait on that block, and then all of a sudden one day he started seeing baits and never stopped.
Yeah.
And you're just cruising and just using just like you would be if you were going down the shallows.
Yeah. And that's, I think that's one of the things that when it comes to learning, scope better, which I have all the best tools, I've got all Garmin, and I got this nice 16-inch graph, Echo Map Ultra 2 on here. But, so that's like a big key to getting good with it. It's good stuff. But just doing it and kind of turning off your brain a little bit and just kind of cruising around. It seems like the more you try to reason and think about it, the more spun out I tend to get and the less success I have with it.
3/16 Ned?
I think quarter. It's a 1/10.
Oh, it's a light one.
They have
Adventures.
It's one of the heavier of the. It might be a 1/6. There's some.
Okay.
I'm about to catch one. Those are
all right. Here we go. Live on BTL, Miles Burghoff. I don't really know what to say.
They went down to it. The other lake that I've been fishing here in Connecticut, I have not been able to catch. I caught one smallmouth on a Ned rig, which is just wild to me. All the rest have been on the jighead minnow. And I can't seem to catch them. Gosh, look at them. They're all just, oop, oop, oop. I think something small just grabbed it. Let me throw a minnow real quick. See what happens.
Now, this is something that you have forced yourself to become comfortable with. Is the
Yeah.
You're not one of the guys who. I remember that time in Texas where you absolutely smoked them on the minnow.
Oh,
you were like high on life. You found the cast in the biggest school of active feeding largemouth in the entire state of Texas during an off day, and absolutely train wrecked them for 2 hours straight.
Dude, that was amazing. That was the first time that I had any sort of confidence in like throwing a jighead minnow. There's a time period where it's just like I was not catching any, like getting any to commit. And that's a frustrating. Little guy. And that's a very frustrating thing to see fish and see them like get engaged with your bait, but not commit to it. There's a fish. Come on, are you seeing this? See how they react?
We can get glimpses of it here on the side. You can see it, but the second half of the screen is still a little bit darker for us. But we could tell you're in 12 foot of water. You can see where the rock and stuff is on the bottom.
Yeah, it's about to drop off. I mean, this is a classic spot.
Yeah, it looks like it just drops off into the abyss.
Yeah.
According to the internet, you're in a prime spot.
Oh, really?
Where it's set on Candlewood. You want 15 to or 12 to 25 foot of water, rock bottom, adjacent to drop offs in the summertime.
Well, the internet's always right. So I guess this is where I'll stay. It's just very frustrating that they're not eating.
What is the die cut in your boat there? The red die cut in the middle. It looks like it says, what does that say?
St. Jude here.
Oh no,
and then
that one.
Gator Step.
Oh,
that's
okay.
the brand that makes this over carpet deck kit.
Gotcha. Oh, so that's that you have carpet underneath that, and that literally just goes on top of your carpet.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
It doesn't impact the carpet at all. So when you pull it off, if you want to sell it, the boat it'll look brand new and there'll be zero stains on it.
I think it's the next evolution in professional fishing, when it comes to like flipping your boat, because guys have the wrap, which is a great, obviously meant for, oh, dang it. I saw that one go down to it, but I didn't think it would eat it. Guys have the wraps for marketing purposes to promote the brands that back them. And when you pull it off and go to sell the boat, it's like a brand new boat underneath. Same thing with this, with Gator Step. Yeah.
Oh, you can do it.
It looks awesome. Anything. Yeah, it looks awesome. They can engrave or etch into it. And so, look at all this rock and all these fish out there. It's about to get interesting.
Yeah.
It's either going to get fun or frustrating.
Literally on Gator Step right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, look at those guys. Let's see if we can get them from back here. Nailed it. Eat it. Dude, it's a sad world when the fish are used to Ned rigs. It's so sad.
So so you're on what you would say are some smallmouth?
Yes, I think these are smallmouth for sure. A lot of them are.
Well,
so I'm gonna
give it a shot here, and then let's play some Let's play some human video games after this. We did this with Cranford, and it actually worked crazy. But like, we have some suggestions in the comments that they believe would get those fish to commit.
Okay.
Are you willing to try? Based on what the comment section says.
10,000%. All these armchair quarterbacks, I'm willing to listen to you right now.
Okay, so if you have
give
me
the juice.
Okay, so the first one is
he ate it.
Multiple guys say that you need to put some sort of attractant on it. We have thump gel, we have bait fuel. Do you have any attractant on your current bait right now, or anything in the boat that you could slather some fresh stuff on?
I soak my Elastec in bait gel, so I'll just put it in the bag.
Okay.
And so that is already done. I'd be happy to put that on, or some bait pop.
Okay, let's try some fresh scent first of all, because there were 3 requests for some fresh scent.
I know, everybody and their smallmouth knowledge.
We're gonna
go back.
We got Miles on some fish right now. He has agreed to. This is going to require some retying here shortly. He has agreed to listen to the comments and attempt to catch these smallmouth that are being a little bit Ned rig shy.
All right, we're putting on some of this bait pop. Which, I'm not sure how well like bait fuel sticks to Elastec. That's one of the things about Elastec is it doesn't, you need kind of a oil-based scent, or attractant. So we got that slathered.
Okay.
We got the chartreuse flake one, which I think will look good. It looks good with the
absolutely
what I'm already using. So. And they're smallies, so. All right, let's see.
What's the water temp?
It is 77 almost.
Okay, so we'll see if this makes a difference. He has slathered his bait in bait pop, which A, will allegedly help him see the bait better, and B, entice a strike from these wary smallmouth.
And I want to give a shout out to, so I don't work with bait pop at all, but it's a young kid that runs the company. I met him at the Classic. So always like supporting young entrepreneurs.
Let us know. So in order to give it a fair shake, we have to get around somewhere where you know what I mean, where today you can't just cast into Mars and be like, oh, they didn't swim over.
Yeah, let's go back over to these rock formations.
Ooh, we got some insight.
That looks more like concrete.
Living the dream on a budget says you're on Candlewood and not throwing a brown back flatworm. Just put the boat back on the trailer.
Well, I got the Z-Man version, which is the trick shots. So we'll probably try that.
And the brown back color apparently is the ticket.
Is the deal?
Yeah.
Come on.
Little rock ledge there. A lot of that stuff looks kind of odd. It's either shelfy or man-made.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. Come on. All right, he went down to it. Let's see if the bait pop did
fresh
the trick.
Bait pop, fresh scent on the bait. Will it entice a strike? He
ended up going back up.
Swerved.
Again, I don't think it's a bait pop issue. I think that a Ned rig, they've probably seen a Ned rig a time or two out here. I mean, for a while, the Ned rig was by far my favorite way to catch smallmouth up north.
Chuck says the next time you get around a fish, you need to hold your left foot slightly higher and then close your right eye. There it is. Right eye closed.
Yeah. All right. Man, slightly higher is hard.
Yeah, I know.
You know, there's all kinds of tricks.
Let's get one more either catch or turn away from, and then we're gonna make a slight bait change that I think may. Pete Cook has a suggestion for a slight bait change that I think may. I like it.
Buzz bait on a Caroline rig?
No, we're not. This is literally there. This is a legit option, Miles.
Okay.
Now you're sticking for some reason. Okay.
You know, one thing I probably do is you know, some of these shallower, you know, shoals here, throw like a walking bait.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how well smallmouth will respond to a walking bait, even in sunny conditions. About to catch a perch. There's a lot of laydowns on this lake. I bet it'd be a good like swim bait lake, throwing like a swag LT or something around these. Here, let's get to these docks over here. That I think that's where we're going to start, you know, catching some bonus fish. Doesn't look like a bass to me. Nope, definitely not.
What tells you that?
Too long. When it nosed down on it, it looked more like a walleye.
So you're thinking these docks might hold some largies?
Yeah. And smallmouth. It's a kind of a steep bank.
Holy cow! There's a lot of contour on that bottom.
Have you? Oh yeah. Have you talked about how the winners of the demographics of the winners of this year's Pro Circuit events have laid out so far? It's pretty wild.
No, hit me with it.
The oldest person to win this year out of 5 events, so 1 event left, it is 24 now, but was 23 when he won, and that was Drew Gill.
Oh my god,
dude!
You could be their dad. It's crazy. Didn't you just have a birthday?
Yeah, I'm 40 now.
My lovely bride was, when I told her that I had you on the show today, was like, make sure you wish him happy birthday. And I was like, I had no idea. We're guys. We don't know when other people's birthdays are, but the big 4-0.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Did you guys do anything special for it since it was a milestone?
My wife really pampered me. She did a good job. I didn't really want anything super special. I just wanted to be with my family. Mm-hmm. You know, and so we got to hang out. We just had a great day in Connecticut. Originally, I was supposed to go to Champlain and for a little bit of pre-practice, but we all got the stomach flu leading up to the trip up, so we kind of got delayed and didn't get up. But look at that tree down there. I don't want to throw my Ned rig in there. I've already retied multiple times. We might idle over to that real quick if there's nothing underneath this dock.
Okay.
It's just like a steep bank here. There's not, you know, you can still catch them, but yeah, isn't that wild? The young guys.
23, Drew Gill, oldest. Now he's married too.
Yeah.
He just got married this past weekend. Does the Connecticut, does Candlewood have that kind of Champlain northern vibe feel to it, that lake, or does it feel a little bit more urban, or does it have that crisp northern feel to it?
It is almost like a mix between a northern, like Champlain, and Chickamauga, believe it or not.
Okay.
It kind of feels like Chickamauga right now during the summertime. There's fish. There's a fish, largemouth.
Nice.
On the dock. All right, we'll keep fishing the docks.
That's not a bad one.
About the same size as that smallmouth.
On the Ned.
Yeah.
That's a great pose. That'll make it for a great thumbnail.
Thank you. I am a poser.
Are these the type of docks where it looks crystal clear underneath, that there's no fish, and then you pitch in there and all of a sudden you have a bite and you're like, where the hell did it come from? Or are we talking water clarity?
Yeah,
there's a little bit of dinginess.
There's more dinginess than lakes I'm used to seeing in lakes up here. Usually they're like crystal clear. This has some algae in it, some algae growth. So yeah, a little bit of stain. It looks very similar to summertime Chickamauga.
Okay.
During like pre-spawn, Chickamauga is dirty like every lake is. But like during the summertime, this looks exactly like, the lower part of the lake.
Okay.
Very similar.
Hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. We're going to let Miles get to where he's going. When we come back, then we'll do a little power section, maybe a 15, 20 minutes to close it off. And then we'll wrap it up there. Ideally, we wrap it up on a 4-pound smallmouth or largemouth for the live session. So we're going to take about a 2-minute break, pay some bills. When we come back, more live on the water action to kick off the month of July with MLF Pro Circuit angler Miles Burghoff. I'm also going to be watching him, so I am not afraid to cut into a commercial if Miles hooks up. So we'll be back right after this.
Before there were hashtags, there were handshakes and shared stories. They gave us confidence to make our first cast and chase our dreams. They taught us to fish, and in the process, taught us about life. They taught us that success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about lifting others up. The future isn't just about selling tackle. It's about 3 simple words. Let's go fishing. Here's to the original influencers.
As a professional angler, there's only one thing that connects you to your paycheck. Probably the most crucial part to tournament bass fishing. I use Sunline because they have a line for every application. Shooter, FX2, All Might, super light line, big stuff, big sticks. Sunline has you covered.
Sharp as can be. Super strong, super durable.
Really good penetration.
Thinner and stronger.
Catch fish after fish.
I want to make sure that I'm using the best stuff possible.
World's finest hook.
World's finest hook.
Gamakatsu. World's finest hook.
Hey guys, Brian Schmidt here with Spro. I'm going to talk to you about the confidence I have in the equipment I use. I have a charter boat business back home in Maryland. We fish for saltwater fish, and I also fish the Bassmasters Elite Series. So I keep my lights on by fishing. I have to have a lot of confidence in the equipment I use. Spro has me covered from head to toe, saltwater, freshwater, everything in between. A lot of high-end quality product. Spro has you covered.
When I'm in a tournament, conditions are constantly changing and every second matters. With the Deep Dive app, I can instantly pull up all the current lake conditions all in one spot. So no more looking at weird government websites. In just one quick glance, I have water clarity, water level, wave forecast. It's all right there in the Deep Dive app. Download the Deep Dive app and get all the tools you need to put together an awesome tournament.
Welcome back. We are live on Kennewood Lake with Miles Burghoff. Oh, we're starting to get the a little Yeti-ish haze around him, but we're still. There's no way.
What do you mean?
Did the camera fuzz up? Now it's clear.
No.
There we go. It might have just been the sun. It was the sun.
Yeah.
Kennewood Lake, on the water, talking all things bass fishing, and just generally enjoying what appears to be a lovely morning in Connecticut.
Absolutely.
If you have a question beautiful for Miles in the second half of our show here, go ahead and get that into the comments, and we'll ask Miles. Is it crisp there this morning, or is it?
Oh, dude, it is hot. I'm going to be sweating through this shirt pretty fast. It's going to be in the mid 90s for the next 3 days.
Holy cow.
Here in Connecticut. Yeah, and we don't have AC in our cottage, so
yeah, at that last open it was like 50s in the morning, low 50s, like hoodie, sweatpants, the whole 9 yards. I love that. That's living the dream. Like, everyone's like, hey, if I win the lottery, you may not know, but there will be signs. My signs will be, I will always 365 days a year be somewhere where it is 56 degrees every morning that I wake up.
Yep. Yeah. The weather up here is generally really, really mild during the summertime, but we do get, some stretches of ridiculous.
Now, are you putting that net in specific spots on the dock, or do you have that dialed in as much, or are you just pitching it to the posts, or is it the shady stuff, or?
Yeah, just kind of I'm still using, my live scope a bit. There's a bass right there. Not quite dialed in on where he's at. A little guy. Yeah, I mean, shaded for sure. Water clarity. Shade's really important when you got clear water in hot conditions like this.
Several questions about the koiki or the urchin style baits. Is that something that you have dove into, or are you still holding out on those things?
No. I'm really trying to be an early adopter to things, and I wasn't an early adopter to the urchin style baits, but I think that is a really cool. I think it's more not a scoping bait necessarily than like we've learned recently. You can just blind cast it and almost fish it like a mix between a wacky rig and a jerk bait, around shallow cover. And so I think it's going to be a good all around bait. But again, I have reservations as far as like the stay power of it at the high level of tournament fishing, because I think that there's so much to be said about the fact that, like, if bass start getting conditioned to that shape, it's not like they're going to get conditioned to a bait fish shape, like they're going to still eat bait fish in a lake, regardless of how many times they've been hooked. But there's only so many times in my mind that they'll get hooked by a urchin that they don't generally see before they, probably leave, or before they stop eating it as much. So I don't know.
Dougie Fresh saying he has a little bit of difficult time throwing it on a bait caster. I concur, Dougie. What size and weight are you using on the I guess full caster, large urchins that you throw on the bait caster to where you can actually get some distance on it?
Well, the full cast, I feel like I can cast the full cast pretty good on bait casting gear. So whatever the weight, honestly, I'm still experimenting, but whatever weight I can get to where it's falling like this.
Okay, so a foot,
like that
second.
speed. Yeah, ish. Maybe a little less. But I've, like the 17 mil sizes, I've been using on like a stiff spinning rod and having a lot of success with it. I've kind of gone back and forth. Like, honestly, I like both spinning and casting at times. I feel like if you're fishing around objects like dock posts where the fish could get hung up, you're probably going to be having an issue at some point. So I'd rather throw like 20-pound tatsu on a casting rod. But if you're like fishing open water or the edges of stuff, maybe a spinning rod is a better choice, like a heavy duty spinning rod. I've been using the 7.3 Stunner HDV2, and that's been a really, really good one for the from a spinning aspect for urchins. These docks have been duds.
I know. Chuck Fish 1855. Miles, do you fish the Z-Man goats or the baby goats? He said they're some of my favorite for smallmouth.
Not specifically for smallmouth, to be honest. I've I use them all the time, mostly as trailers on like swim jigs or chatterbaits. But I haven't used them for smallmouth, to be honest. I've used them for smallmouth. So like my best goat experience on like a swim jig was on Sturgeon Bay, the second day of the championship that we had. You know, back in the day when I think they only did it 1 year. It was every fish counts. And the first day I caught one smallmouth with 45 seconds to go, you know, just doing drop shot and normal stuff. And then I went up a river, and shout out to Matt Steffen. He kind of like clued me into this. Went up a river and just smashed them.
I fished that with him when we did our Master Angler Quest. Yeah. He said, this is where dude, those fish are dumb in there.
Dumb. And I caught 45 pounds of smallmouth in largemouth throwing that white pearl goat on the back of a swim jig.
Really?
And lost several in the 4 or 5 pound class that any one of them would have got me into the knockout round. So the next round. So
he's got that neck of the woods dialed in. He's like, you want to catch a big smallmouth? He takes you out in the middle of nowhere on this little Delio.
Yeah.
And they were on the Delio and call like a 5.5 on the first cast.
Here we go. We're getting back to this. I don't know if you could see the map, but we've got this island that comes out here, and you know, you can tell that there's going to be a lot of rock formation.
Fun fact: there's actually 11 islands on Candlewood Lake.
Just 11?
Yeah.
No, I see
maybe
right
11.
Now.
11 named islands.
Oh, okay.
According to Wikipedia.
Well, the internet's always right.
I feel like if you're going in and like
one right there. Come on, baby.
Your thing is lying about how many islands are on Candlewood Lake, then more power to you. You're changing the. We had some reaction there.
Whatever that is. Darn it. All right. You see those guys react to it? Let's see if we can get one. I don't know. It's almost like maybe I need to dead stick it or something.
All right.
So just let it sit there.
We do have a bait change suggestion.
Okay.
Micro football jig.
How about no?
No.
Okay. Well,
sorry.
All right, we'll try it. My goodness. Actually, what I have been doing is...
Oh, my God, I did not see that coming. Oh, that
How about no?
That got me so good.
So I've been using like the TRD Ned.
Okay, that's very close.
Yeah, with these fuzzy bugs, which we used earlier. So I need to put these boxes back.
That is legitimately as close to a micro football jig as you can get.
Yeah. No, I think it's better.
Yeah.
For
there also have been several people who fish Candlewood who said you have to go brown back color, drop shot, and do not move the bait.
Okay.
So that is also another viable option that we may want to.
I think I want to do that more than this because I've already thrown the.
If you've thrown that fuzzy thing with that, do that.
Yeah.
But the brown back color drop shot, don't move it. Living the dream on a budget. Sounds very confident in his assessment of what needs to happen to put some more smallmouth in the boat today.
Okay.
God, that was
I'm
hilarious.
gonna find.
That was one of the funniest. I have not laughed that hard on the show in probably a couple months. I thought you were like, that's a great idea. I've got these micro jigs. We'll tie it on. And then it was just a elongated pause with, how about no?
How about no? I think that's Dr. Evil or something.
Yeah.
So what's that?
Living the dream on a budget.
I'm going to throw on the drop kickers.
Okay.
From Z-Man and see what happens. They don't. I should have retied this.
Oh, did we overheat the I think we overheated the iPad. That'll happen. All right, we've got one more quick break in us, and then we'll come back. By the time Miles is back, hopefully he will have the drop shot tied up, and then we'll wrap things up for today. It's been fun watching him. We got multi-species day out on Candlewood Lake. We'll be back in a couple minutes here.
At Beatdown Outdoors, we know you depend on your gear to hold up in any condition. We built for that. We test for that. In fact, we pride ourselves in that. Because we know when the time comes to test your gear, you aren't going to take it easy, so we won't. We build premium, made-in-the-USA products that you can rely on in the moments when your equipment should be the last thing on your mind.
Pro Bass Adventures is reinventing Mexico bass fishing. With boats equipped with 12-inch Garmin units and LiveScope Plus, free loaner fishing rods, and no-cost airport transportation, Pro Bass Adventures is proudly putting you in the best position for success. Pro Bass Adventures has lodges on Lake Baccarat and Lake El Salto, Mexico's two best trophy largemouth bass lakes. Visit probassadventures.com or email probassadventures@gmail.com. The official Mexico fishing lodge of Bass Talk Live.
Your early morning mentality is your every hour mentality. All gas, no brakes. Focus, purpose, power. Destined for the water, but confident everywhere else. A calming buzz before the storm, truth of nature itself. You can't catch lightning in a bottle. There's a limit out there, but it's not with your gear. Unrelenting power delivery. Unparalleled weight savings. Keeping you on the water, whether you run a 9.9 or outscoping your best 5. In this rare air, there's power in the silence. It's a mindset, thinking only of the things that matter and freeing your mind from the things that you trust.
All right, we're back. We got Miles. It's gonna be an abbreviated closing segment with Miles because, quite frankly, it's just really hot outside.
Yeah, it's super hot. So, I mean, we could holding it. You know, I can probably last a little bit longer because I can shade it.
Yeah. No, we're good. I mean, we're an hour and 20 minutes in. I think that for those who want to know if the drop shot is the key to success on Candlewood, check out Miles Burghoff Fishing on YouTube. Does a daily video. We'll have a bunch of stuff out from this Connecticut adventure, and I think that's a good segue into letting you get back. I know literally you're not just out there screwing around. It is a work day, and you're getting a lot of videos done out there today. So I appreciate the time.
Oh yeah, man! I appreciate you bringing me on. It's been a while, so I'm honored to be here, for sure.
So, well, let us know how it goes. Congratulations as you close out a strong. Regardless of what happens the rest of the season, you've had a strong season on the pro circuit.
I'm happy. I'm happy with it. And, you know, to close it out, the one thing I want to say about this season is, you know, I've had quite, you know, probably 3 or 4 years that have been pretty tough on me. You know, the just, you know, life stuff happening, everything happening with Riley was obviously the biggest part. But also I kind of like got into this kind of like time period where I was pretty hard on myself tournament wise, and it wasn't as fun anymore. And this year I've got back to the fun. I feel like I'm finally getting back to like loving my job. So like, it's been a real play, and the fact that we've got the blessings that we have, you know, with Riley and our family, you know, it's just, I'm in such a good place right now, and I'm just loving life. So just wanted to mention that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I didn't even make you give anything away. Last time I had Stefan on last week, he had to leave the room for 30 seconds, and during that I did a core tackle giveaway without even asking him.
Nice.
I almost was going to do a Z-Man giveaway with Miles if you caught a 4-pounder while we were live.
Z-Man is safe. Z-Man is safe.
Z-Man is safe. All right. Catch him up. I appreciate it. Enjoy the time in Connecticut, and we'll catch up soon.
All right. Thanks, brother. Thanks so much.
All right. See ya. There you go. Miles Burghoff. Check out his YouTube channel, social media, does a ton of stuff out there, and greatly appreciate him taking the time, the effort to get things set up to where we could go live from Candlewood. And anytime you can be sitting or standing or reclining, doing whatever you guys are doing that are watching or listening to this, and have a guy on the other end that is catching largemouth and smallmouth bass live, that's pretty cool. So that's all we got for today. We're going to work on we're not going to work. We are working, but it's more, instead of just like, oh, we have the capability to do this today, it's more of a setup. We get Frank on the water. Frank Scalish. I think that'd be awesome on day 4 to have him. But big shout out to Miles. We are back tomorrow with a new color drop, Frank's signature series on lurenet.com. And then it is 4th of July weekend. Just remember, it's hard to throw an urchin if you just be careful of the 4th of July weekend with the fireworks. But maybe we can get Frank tomorrow to give some of his best 4th of July stories, because regardless of whether it was legal or illegal, I feel like the Cleveland area, Frank was able to get his hands on some fireworks back in the day. That's all we got for now. We'll talk to everyone tomorrow. See ya.